If you're anything like me, you have a cult-like obsession not only with running, but also with the entire routine that supports your running. Whether that's getting up early to run, making sure you're getting in healthy foods to fuel your runs, and getting the right amount of sleep so that you feel powered to accomplish your workouts and accomplish your day without feeling like a zombie. But what happens when your routine gets completely thrown off and completing your workout seems more like insanity than actual dedication to the sport? So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what I had going on this week and what my plan was in terms of running, and then what actually ended up happening and how I adjusted my training. And then, as always, I'm just going to finish with some lessons that I learned this week. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Juliana, and this video is part of my 18-week 2025 Chicago Marathon Training Build series, where I'm taking you guys behind the scenes of my journey trying to get to 2 hours and 55 minutes for the marathon by race day. So if you're interested in following along with my journey and hearing more about how I balance running and marathon training with a full-time job and trying to grow my health food startup, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave any comments in the comment section down below. Okay, starting in terms of what I had going on this week that made training a little bit difficult. So one of my best friends from college actually came down to visit, but it was super last minute and he didn't get here until like 11:30 p.m. on Monday. And then what made things even a bit more complicated is that Thursday at 7 a.m. we had a flight to go up to upstate New York so we could hang out with some friends for the weekend. And I knew that the entire weekend we would likely be busy. So that was essentially what I had going on in terms of personal stuff. And then for managing my training, I kind of had a few big workouts this week. I had one pretty tough track speed session, and then another one that was a marathon pace workout, and that was my first marathon pace workout of the entire build. So I was definitely a little bit nervous about doing it. And so as you can see down below, this is what I ended up having planned for the week, just given all my different commitments and factoring in all of my different easy runs as well. And then what actually ended up happening is that I had to make adjustments. So for my speed workout on Wednesday, instead of doing 13 miles total, I ended up doing 10 miles total, and I did 4x800 instead of 4x1000 meters because that's just a weird number. But I thought that I was going to actually be able to pull off a 6-mile run before my 7 a.m. flight on Thursday, which would mean that I would have to wake up at 3:45 to get that run in. That also ended up not happening. We got to New York. I was super tired. We were basically traveling the entire day. We took a very long detour for a lunch, and then we went to Storm King, and we got to Storm King. Storm King, by the way, is awesome. If you haven't been there, totally check it out. But we got to Storm King, and I mean, it's huge. It's 500 acres. So they said, you know, you can walk, you can take the trolley, you can do whatever. And Calvin was like, oh, well, Juliana, maybe you can run. And for the first time in my life, I actually said no. And I said,
I'm not gonna run. I don't want to run.
Because it was 92 degrees outside. It was burning hot. I was tired AF from my trip. And I was like, I think that trying to push myself right now in the 92 degree heat to do a 6-mile run is going to be worse for my body than just taking the day off. So that's exactly what I did. I just took the day off and I was happy with my decision. So Friday, I had another thing that was thrown in my way. I was supposed to do a 12-mile medium long run. I ended up doing a 10-mile trail run because my miles took a lot longer to complete than they would have on the road because I got lost on this super not well-maintained trail near Hudson. It was pretty rough. There were Lyme disease signs everywhere, and I was convinced that someone was coming after me with an axe. I don't know why, I just had that vision in my head. The park was very eerily empty, and yeah, there was no one around. I was like, my body could literally get chopped right now, and nobody would ever know. So anyway, my boss ended up scheduling a last-minute meeting, so I was like rushing around on this trail, trying to not kill myself and fall, which of course I fell, and get back in time for my meeting. So I had to shorten that run, again, outside of my control. And then Saturday, which was supposed to be easy, I decided to do my long run with the marathon pace workout on Saturday because Calvin's birthday was on Saturday. So I figured we'd probably be staying up late, staying out late, doing God knows what. So I opted to do it Saturday, even though I did 10 miles on Friday. So my workouts actually ended up being modified significantly. All of my easy runs got modified, and then I did my speed workout. Instead of doing 4 by 1,000 meters, I did 4 by 800 meters, because 1,000 meters is like a whack number. So I just did 800 meters and then 4 by 400 meters hard. So these were my splits. A little bit slower than I would have liked, but there was a bit of wind on the way back, so it was fine. It was fine. And then Thursday, I did my rest day, and Friday, I did that trail run that was kind of traumatizing, and Saturday was my long run. So I started out fully thinking I was going to do 3 by 2 miles at marathon pace, and then the last 2 miles, I always love to do this, where it's like I pick up on those last 2 miles, because it teaches your body to run fast at the end of runs. It's like my favorite thing. Favorite in a diabolical, masochistic way, but I kind of love it. So yeah, I was going to do that, but it was very hot. There was this random heat wave in New York and all across the country actually this past week. So what I thought was going to be cooler weather up there actually ended up being the same / hotter, a little bit cooler. Started out, it was like 75 degrees. Just kept getting hotter. This beautiful route that I picked had absolutely no shade. I had to stop inside of a gas station and pack my sports bra with ice cubes. I was dripping sweat all over the place. I was kind of not really with it. I knocked down a couple signs. It was fine. I just ran out of there. So it was all good. But anyway, 3 by 2 miles at marathon pace, that was like fine. It ended up being a little bit slower than what I would have liked, and I took a half-mile break in between those. I do think it was okay because it was a very, very hilly route. And then my last 2 miles, like I said, I love doing it like a little bit faster, but little did I know that those 2 miles at the end of this workout segment of my long run were the hilliest miles of the run, and it ended up being like 200 feet elevation gain in 1 mile. So I was really, really dying. I think every single car that saw me on the side of the road thought I was part of some like upstate New York cult or something, and this was like my pledging or initiation or whatever. So yeah, that's not what I was doing. In case anybody saw me out there on the roads of Hudson, this was a choice. I'm proud of myself for getting it done, and I was able to enjoy the rest of the weekend with my friends and have fun celebrating Calvin's birthday. So that was very special. Okay, so this week I learned several really, really important lessons that I wanted to share with you. So the first is that it is okay to adjust your workouts and your marathoning if you have to. Most of us are not professional runners. I'm not a professional runner. I do not do this full time. And I love running, but I also love so many other things in life besides just running. And if I hadn't adjusted my workouts a little bit this week, I wouldn't have been able to participate in a lot of really fond memories that I ended up forming over the weekend and earlier on in the week with my friend. So I wasn't able to get in my lifts this past week. I didn't do my medium long run, and I missed a run, and I missed my weekly mileage goal. But that's okay. I think if 90% of the time we are doing what we need to do more or less according to plan, and we're getting in our key workouts for the week, I think it's fine. It's fine to make some adjustments and to live your life. That's what being a runner is. Okay, so the other thing that I learned and that I just want to share with you as well is that it is okay to let loose sometimes. We see all of these people on social media that look like they're on detox mode 24/7, and it makes us, or at least it makes me feel guilty when I see all these beautiful people living beautiful lives and it looks like they're reaching all of their goals, and then I'm going out on a Saturday and having drinks with my friends or having wine with dinner. But it is okay to do that sometimes. And if you want to do that more than sometimes, that's totally fine too. Your running story is your running story, and whatever lifestyle and health habits that you might need to adjust to make sure that you're getting in your social life while also running is completely fine and normal. And then the third thing is that I started this video with talking about how as runners, we tend to have very set in stone, rigid routines and schedules, and we do not like to stray from them whatsoever. So this is your reminder that sometimes, whether it's your fault or it's not, your routine will stray from what you're used to. And I'm here to let you know that that is also okay. You will get back to it whenever the period of disruption is over. And again, hopefully you're having fun while you are being disrupted. And if you're not, try to find some fun in something. So this doesn't just apply to plans that you make. You know, sometimes there's very tragic things that happen in our lives, or sometimes there's events that we can't help that happen that disrupt our day significantly. And as long as you're dedicated to what you want to do in your life, whether it's running or not running, most of the time, then I think we're all good. All right, well, that is it in terms of today's video and my week 2 Chicago Marathon training update. Please make sure to leave a comment down below and like the video if you liked the video, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're interested in seeing more Chicago Marathon weekly training updates and want to receive more information about how I balance my training, my job, and growing a startup. So thank you so much for being here and for supporting the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. And before I go, I just have to show you Nathan and Seth. Oh my God, they are so precious. All right, see you.